Welcome back to Cutting It Up. I'm your host, Liz Groeschen, and today we are joined by Kathy Levine, a visual artist. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay,
Nice to be here.
I'm going to start grabbing some paper to cut. How did you become a visual artist?
I remember my mom calling me Eagle Eye because I noticed things that most people didn't notice or observe. I guess as I went along, I realized I had an artistic mind, and actually at 13, I asked myself what I was good at. I had this
13?
day of reckoning, like at 13, and I had a very serious look. It was a very serious look at my life, and I realized at that point that the only thing that I thought I was good at was art. So that's what I pursued. I decided I wanted to go to art school, and I learned how to be disciplined. I met a lot of other artists, so I finally figured out, what it's, how to be an artist. Sort of got the lowdown from everyone.
How do you be an artist?
I did.
Do you know that now?
How?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm still figuring it out.
Oh. Well, actually, I didn't. I thought I knew when I was at school.
Yeah.
But,
so, what did you think you knew, and how has it changed?
Well, I thought I knew that, you had to be talented. You had to kind of have an artistic sensibility and all that kind of stuff. But I realize now that it takes more than that. That's what it takes to be a visual artist, to actually do the work, but to get out there, sort of kind of advocating more for yourself, rather than, because for years I didn't think I was ready to really be an artist. I mean, because I had to have enough work. I didn't feel like caliber was up to my standard that I wanted.
I feel like that's how I am now.
I mean, I definitely wasn't ready at that point. But I realize now that I could have done more at that time, as I was going along.
Okay.
Even though I've been in a lot of shows, I've done a lot of things, and but I sort of feel like I could have been further along if I had been sort of more aware of the business part of, the art world. Well, nowadays I think it's changing. But when I went to school, to college, when I actually went to Pratt to get my MFA. And, when I said, well, what do I do when I get out? And they said, well, whatever you need to do, whatever you need to
I think that was my experience
get
too.
by, do whatever you can do. And so anyway, I ended up, the only thing I really kind of knew at that point was about teaching. So I ended up teaching for 30 years.
Teaching art?
Yeah. I started getting a little, feeling like I wanted to teach kids that really wanted to learn about art. So that's when I started thinking about teaching on the college level. I was an adjunct, so I was working. The most you could teach as an adjunct is like 2 classes a semester.
Okay.
So I really needed to make more, and I was actually making more as a studio manager than I was as a as a teacher or professor.
And so this whole time you were doing a lot of photos, it sounds like?
Yeah, well, actually, when the last year I was in college at Pratt, I was doing very sculptural photographs. They were like starting to stick out from the surface and layering. I was kind of layering, so they were becoming very sculptural. So I had an artist friend that said, oh, photography is not the most sculptural medium. So I said, well, what were you thinking? So they said, oh, you should try paper, casting paper.
Casting
Casting
specifically.
paper.
And so what does that mean exactly?
Well, I'll just tell you.
Yes.
So this is a piece of cast paper. Basically, I make the paper. It took me a long time to figure out how to make cast paper. I looked in a lot of books about paper making. They had a lot about how to make paper, but not very much. I couldn't find anything about casting it.
Is that kind of like almost a plaster that you're making?
It's like you make a sheet of paper like you regularly would make a sheet.
Okay. Using this screen.
Yeah, using the screen. You could pour the pulp. I make the paper from recycled paper.
Do you keep everything? Like, do you keep all of the paper that comes into your house?
No, I can't do it. Not anymore. I used to, but
It sounds like something I would do.
Yeah. But I do have a lot of paper. I shred it up. You could do it with a shredder, or you could just tear it up into small pieces.
Okay.
And then you soak it overnight in some water. I mean, if you want to speed things up, you could put it in hot water or boil it.
Okay.
The paper, and then you basically want to soak the paper till the fibers are soft.
Okay.
That's the secret.
Okay.
That's a big secret. Because
for casting paper.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for making paper. Or both.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. But with the paper casting, as with paper making, you have to pulp it up. And if you're using like a regular blender, you don't want to destroy your blender.
And to pulp it up, does that mean the same? Like if I'm comparing it to an orange?
It's like making a smoothie.
Yeah, you just like make it like more dense. You put all the paper
with the water or the other ingredients in your blender, and then you blend it up, and then it comes out kind of not lumpy, but it's kind of like a smoothie. So if you don't soak the paper, it ends up, the fibers are still hard.
Okay.
So if you don't soak the paper enough and soften the fibers, when you put it in the blender with some water, it will break your blender. So I had to learn the hard way. I have to make sure and you could tell when the paper is soft.
Too dense or something.
Because you could squeeze it, and it sort of, it's very malleable.
Okay.
And very squishable.
Okay.
So anyway, and then after you pulp it up in the blender, once the paper is soft enough, you could then pour it over a screen that's over a sink, and you got to make sure you have something over the drain, or else you'll plug up your drain.
Okay.
I usually put a couple pieces of screen, and then you pour it over there, and then you use these pieces of material to put it over the paper like that.
Almost like you're felting it.
Yeah, this is what's different from regular paper, because regular paper you just could let dry.
Yeah, you just
on
like
the screen.
smooth it out.
Yeah, but when you make the cast paper, you have to cover it, and you have to take a lot of the water out, and that's called couching.
Oh, okay.
And then you also have to use like towels, and you could use felt as well.
This reminds me of like wet felting.
Yeah.
With the towels and the water and like working it out.
Yeah, and then you kind of, the couche, putting it to sleep.
You put it to sleep.
You put it to sleep. You kind of smooth
so
it like
sweet.
that. And then at some point, you could actually lift the paper up off of the screen. Say this is the paper. You could lift it up off the screen like that and put it on your mold.
Oh, okay.
And it's still damp.
Okay.
But it's like, it becomes like fabric.
Like
almost
malleable.
Like a damp piece of felt.
Okay. Yep.
And then at some point, if it's dry enough, you could sort of like pull a little corner away, and it will come right off of the material. And then
that's what you did here.
Then you put it on here, and then you kind of pat it into place. And you could use a sponge, you could use your fingers, and then once you have, and you could see a lot of the texture, I think you could see it.
Mm-hmm.
starting to come through, the paper will
And you can also hold
pick
it
up.
over here too.
Yeah, the paper will pick up the texture, and then you let it dry.
Mm-hmm.
And once the paper is dry, you could then pull it off of the mold, and that's your cast paper. So you made a cast paper mold of this piece of art.
And so you were really interested in exploring a sculptural medium with paper instead of another material.
Well, I wasn't sure I was interested in it until I started working with it.
Okay.
And then I was like, whoa, there are all these different possibilities.
Yeah.
And it's so inexpensive. I mean, paper is all over. And it's so easy to keep it because if you don't use all the paper, when you pulp the paper up, you could just squeeze the water out of it and then let it dry.
And then you can reuse it?
This could last forever. Paper is like really has a long life.
Yeah.
So it
feels like a rock.
Yeah, it does. So that's how I keep the paper once it's been, pulped up. So then all you have to do is put a couple of these into the blender, let it sit for a minute, and then blend it up. So it's like instant paper.
Such a sustainable practice.
Yeah, it's cool. And these are very small pieces. And this one was cast off of a root of a tree.
Oh, I thought it was an ear.
Oh.
I saw like an ear in my mind.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it does look a little like an ear.
But
actually.
now I see the root completely. Yeah. And then you've been collaging.
Yeah, and then I did this. I started doing this thing called photo, I guess because of my photo background, photo transfers. So I started...
like using a jelly plate?
Basically, these are made from photo copies that I make on a photo machine. These are mostly hand. There's a material called a transfer material, and they're different brand names. There's Picture This. You could even use gesso, actually, because it's an acrylic polymer medium. And
we're really getting in the weeds with all of our art speak here. I love it.
So you could coat the photocopy with this transfer medium, which is, it's like gesso. And then once you coat it, then you put it, you face it down on whatever you want to transfer it to.
I never knew that you could do that with gesso.
Yeah, and you could transfer it to another piece of paper, like you could transfer it to cast paper. You could transfer it to wood, to fabric.
All with gesso. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
I thought you had to do it with like a jelly plate or...
No, but that's another
photo
technique.
transfers, right.
So, and then when you're done, you have to let it sit for like about 48 hours. And then you kind of wet the back of the photocopy
to take
that's stuck on wherever you stuck it to. And then you could just peel it off. Okay. Once you wet it. And then you get the reverse, actually. That is actually the reverse of that person. But if you want it to come out the right way, then you have to make the copy in the reverse. Yeah. And then, so anyway, once you take the paper off, then you have this very thin skin. And you could feel that.
Yeah, it almost feels like fabric.
Yeah, you could put it on anything. It'll stick. It'll, you could glue it on to something, or you could transfer it right on there if you want to do that. I've done it on shirts, all kinds of stuff. That's my craft background.
So how many years have you been doing this?
Oh, well, I started doing the cast paper back in 82, I think it was. So probably like 44 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Are you the #1 paper cast expert?
Well, I want to do a book about it, actually.
I want to read this book about it.
Because I feel like other people have done cast paper, but they work in a very different way. Because my pieces, some of them are really big, like, I have a stump that I'm actually working on right now that I
Yeah.
cast from a tree that fell in Prospect Park during Hurricane Sandy.
Oh, wow.
So the thing is, like, I had to do it in a number of sections, but the stump is in 3 sections, and it's like 6 or 7 feet tall by about
So
6
how did
feet
you
wide.
get this from Prospect Park to your home or to your studio?
Well, that's tricky. I work with larger screens. I have all different size screens, but I do sections.
Okay.
But when the paper is still damp, you could put 2 pieces of paper together and they'll attach to each other because of the fibers are very strong. So they'll attach.
Right.
And then and then they become one big piece.
Amazing. Wait, so are you taking the screens to Prospect Park?
Well,
to do this, or are you taking?
That's a good question. I do the screens at home.
Okay.
I do the paper and I fold it up like I'm folding like a sheet.
Yeah.
With the paper, so I make a big
piece.
Some big pieces of paper, fold it up, put it in a plastic bag, and I
so
put
it stays wet.
Yeah, or damp.
Okay.
And then when I get to the park or wherever I'm going, wherever my mold is, I usually like to cast from natural molds if I can.
Okay.
But I have done several pieces where I couldn't find a big enough cross section of a tree, that I was looking for, so I made my own armature.
Okay.
But for the most part, I try to find what I'm looking for in the natural world. So I take the paper out of the bag when I get there, and then I start putting it up against the tree, the bark. When I worked in Prospect Park, I had a lot of kids helping me. They loved.
My sons would love this.
Yeah, they were having such a good time. They loved this tree that fell, and I cast about 25, 30 feet of the horizontal part of the tree, and also the tree stump, which was about 6 feet high by about, I don't know, like probably in diameter, like 4 or 5 feet in diameter. So it was a really old tree. Oh, and this piece is actually from a series I did of roots of the tree that was even before Hurricane Sandy, that I did after 9/11, because that was like one of the few times I didn't really know what I was going to do, because I was at such a loss of what was going on in the world and happening again.
It is happening.
But some people from the neighborhood asked me if I would go do some photographing at one of the candlelight vigils. So at that candlelight vigil, I took a lot of photos that are in these root pieces, and they became photo transfers. And the roots, I decided on roots because in my neighborhood there are these huge trees with huge roots, and they were like holding the earth together. And I felt like the people in the neighborhood kind of held the community together. The community held all the people in the neighborhood together in a similar way that the roots held the earth together.
Beautiful.
So I saw that analogy or that connection. And so anyway, a lot of the root pieces are really big. So this is a small one. Now I'm actually working on something completely different. Well, I'm still doing the tree, because I did the stump, and now I'm working on the horizontal part of that tree that fell in Prospect Park.
Ah, okay.
So I'm still working on that. And I'm also doing a new series of pieces that are about how things are disappearing from our world, called Vestiges, like animals and tools and plants and all kinds of things are like becoming extinct. I don't know if you knew, but like a third of all the animals on the planet are either gone or have become extinct,
I
or
did not
in the
know
process
this.
of becoming extinct.
What?
A third. So my work is about the environment. So and kind of our human interconnection or disconnection with the natural world. So
it's really important right now.
yeah,
I mean, it's always important, but like the longer we're here, the longer I'm here, the more important it almost feels, because it's like I can feel it more acutely day by day that it's slipping away from us.
Yeah, and it's important. The natural world is kind of what
keeps us alive.
Me sane.
Yeah, but it literally keeps us alive. So.
And alive, yes. I wish people would, become more aware of that, how important that everything is. So I'm just hoping that my work, I know that a lot of it has, influenced people in terms of the natural world and kind of being more of a, more protective and nurturing of it, because there are a lot of things that actually we could be doing. I mean, a lot of people are doing.
Yes, but we could always do more.
Yeah, we need more
Absolutely.
people on board. Artists have a really important role in communication.
We really do.
And so and I know a lot of artists that are very tuned in to what is happening right now on the planet.
Where can viewers find you and your work?
Well, I'm on Instagram. My name, Kathy Levine, and one, and also KathyLevineArt.com.
I always like asking what somebody's like favorite tool or kind of like trick up their sleeve is. Do you have a favorite tool or go-to for your art practice?
That trick about knowing like how to soften the fibers in the paper.
Yeah.
That took me a while to figure out.
Okay.
That trick.
That's
was
good
the trick.
To know. Yeah.
And then my favorite tool. Well, I guess it's one of them is the screen.
Okay. Did you make that yourself?
Yeah. And you can make them, just out of frames, finding old like frames that people throw out. And of course I love blenders.
Do you have a good blender recommendation?
Yeah, well
we just have a NutriBullet.
I like Hamilton blenders. But they're some of the old blenders are really good.
Oh, I know.
The metal ones,
yes.
like silver ones.
Yes.
I love those.
They like definitely don't make things the way they used to. Now everything's plastic.
Yeah, I know, and they fall apart.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
On that note, how are you feeling about your collage?
It's getting there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I noticed that I'm being drawn to trees.
I wonder why.
That's not unusual.
Yeah.
For me, because I love trees.
I know. I can see it.
And they do so much, and they ask for so little.
They do ask for so little. My sons like to run they like to jump up on the tree roots when we're walking to school, and I get so upset, and I tell them that they have to be so nice to the trees because they are what keep us alive.
Don't be too hard on them, because trees could withstand a lot.
I know, but my sons are a lot. So I have to really stress on them to be gentle when they can.
Yeah.
When they
can
be.
Although when I was working on the tree in Prospect Park, and most of them were guys that were helping me out.
Yeah.
And they loved this tree. It was like their whole world. They just wanted to be connected to this tree. And I think that's so important in our world, to have something you can feel connected to like that.
What advice would you give to someone who is just starting out in their artist career?
First of all, I think it's important to have something that you want to say in your work. And that makes you feel connected to the world, maybe you might be able to pick up on something that's happening in the world that speaks to you.
Yes.
Because I know that when I actually started in museums. I working in museums. And it wasn't until I started putting together shows that I realized that I had something that I wanted to say.
Yes.
About the environment and nature and that whole world. So actually sometimes doing something else will lead you to what it is that you want to say.
Yeah, that's a really optimistic way to look at it.
So even if you think you're going in the wrong direction or in another direction, I think to kind of keep focused on what your concerns are, what you're concerned about in the world. And also if you think that maybe you want to change something. So I think art really speaks to people, and they start thinking about whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that you're presenting, and then before you know it, it's like you're affecting or influencing other people.
Hopefully, right?
So, yeah, I love when that happens. That's like, for me, it makes everything worthwhile. I don't know, there's not really any other thing that I wanted to do that in the world, that had staying power, I guess, and the depth of exploration that you can get as, making art.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're going to reveal at the same time. Okay. We're going to show it to Blair and everybody watching. What do you think? Oh, it's a little, there we go, we gotta angle it. Blair's gonna get in on them. That's so perfect for you. Look at that big
with the tree, definitely.
I love it. And I have my girl floating in space. I was going for a Madonna vibe. You know all those Renaissance paintings?
Yeah.
Where they have the halo painted behind?
Beautiful.
But it's food.
And I love the way she's standing on that orange. It's like a stage.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Kathy, thank you so much for joining, cutting it up. It was such a pleasure.
So much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you for watching. You can find The Cutting It Up Show on all of the socials, The Cutting It Up Show. And in the meantime, you can go cut something up yourself.
Do something creative.
Yeah. About it. Thank you so much.
Wow, this is so much fun.
Good.
Really?
I'm so glad. And this worked, having all of these here. So fun to learn about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how long have you been doing this?